Hey, welcome to another episode of Fly Fish Fork, the Everyday Fly Fishers channel. My name's Alex Guthrie. I'm your host. I'm so glad you're here with me. And hey, while I'm thinking about it, I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope you'll subscribe and share with your friends. You never know, we might actually get some followers. We need more followers. So sign up with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoy this. Check out our website, flyfishfork.com, or contact me, alex@flyfishfork.com. Leave some comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm not the most gifted fly tyer in the world, but I think I'm pretty average, probably like most fly tyers. Some of the guys I see on YouTube, wow, they're incredible. I love watching them. So let's talk about what we're going to do today. We're going to do a hollow tie, and we're going to start out. Let's go through what we're going to use. Hook wise, I got these hooks at Bass Pro, and they're just a straight shank, round bend, 2/0 hook. And I buy them there because I get 25 in the package, and I don't have to continue to order hooks like I do if I get them on Amazon. Support your local fly shops. This is just what works best for me. Also, for my glue, I'm using some Wapsi, and I really love this stuff. This is fly tire cement. It's great stuff. Waterproof, easy to use, has a little applicator. And then for our thread today, we're using let me find it. We're using Visas, and it's a 150D is what it's called. Oh, I've already got it hanging on here, didn't even realize it. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start out with, we're tying some brim patterns, and I've tied a couple already. I'm not super happy with them, so I'm going to do another one, shoot a video, and hopefully we'll get one that I like. One of the things about me is I'm never quite satisfied with what I do, and I'm my biggest critic. So my goal today is to tie up some hollow tie brim pattern. I'm catching fish with them here on Lake Fork, and it's summertime, and the bass fish on brim. We use Bucktail. I have some dyed olive. I have some dyed black. I have some orange and some yellow, and I've got some red. And so I'll use all sorts of combinations because my brim in this lake are very dark, and they've got a orange breast on them. And so I'm going to combine these colors to try and create that look. I'm also going to be using some black Flashaboo. Boy, I love this stuff. It is absolutely beautiful. It is. I just love looking at it. It really is a beautiful material. I think I got that at I may have got that at Bass Pro. And then I'm using a silver also. I like to put a little of that in there too. Again, it's a beautiful material. You know, guys, this material lasts you pretty much forever. I'll have some I'll probably have 15, 20 years. All right, let's get started. These hooks have barbs on them. They have barbs down here, and they have barbs up here on the shank to hold bait. First thing I do when I put it in is I smash down all the barbs. I fish my bass in Lake Fork barbless. I'll lose a few, but I think that it's better for the fish. I also think it helps set a hook. If you don't have a barb in there, it certainly helps get one out. And if you've got one in the wrong place or too deep or in your finger, you're glad that you didn't have that barb in there. We're going to wrap our black thread right down here to the barb, and that's where we're going to start our tie. And we're going to tie, first of all, what we've been tying is a black tail. Now, right at this point, I'm going to go in and do an olive. So I'm going to take just a small part of this olive and cut a nice long, I want it to be pretty long for that tail. And I'm going to cut it right at where it comes off that backing. And I'm going to take this olive, I'm going to take this and I'm going to clean out all the little short hairs. There's little short hairs and funky stuff in here. And this stuff's real clean. I mean, I haven't had to fight with it very much. Then I'm going to decide how long do I want this. Now my brim with this fly is going to look like it's about that long. And that is like the perfect size for a feeding bass. They will tear that thing up if they see it. I'm going to just kind of flatten this out here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is pinch this really hard, because I want this first batch to sit right on top of the hook. So I'm going to pinch it hard, and I'm going to do 2 loose wraps. I'm going to keep pinching it, and I'm going to pull straight down. I'm going to keep pinching it. I'm going to do 2 more loose wraps. Whoops. Well, I said that. And then I'm going to pull straight down. I got to hold it right here, pull straight down. Now the objective is to have that wrap, that material, just on the very top of the hook. Okay, so I got that done. And now I'm going to wrap forward to sort of lock it in place, where I'm not going to have to worry about it spinning on me. Move it around if you have to, because it's going to want to spin around on that hook. And then just go ahead and get that part done. And normally, and I just kind of forgot to do it, but normally I would have put a little bit of glue right on top of that. But what we're going to do, we're going to add a little glue to the bottom of it. It's still on those original thread wrap, so I'm just putting a little drop right there. And that's going to help a lot, kind of lock that in once it sets up. Now we want to put a little flash in here. We're going to put a little black in first, because I want that tail to have a little bit of flash to it. I'm just going to take, I probably got 4 little fibers there, and I'm going to bend them over, bend them in half, and cut them. And then I'm going to stagger them. I don't want them even, I want them kind of staggered. So I'm staggering that, staggering it. So when it lays down on this tail, and I want it to go a little past that tail, I want it to be just a little past, half an inch. If it's a little more, fine. If it's a little less, fine. But a little past that tail. I'm going to now tie that in. I'm going to bend this back and tie over it to sort of help lock that in, because these will get pulled out if you don't lock them in. Looking good. Got everything right where I wanted, everything's holding up. Now when a bait fish gets chased by a big daddy, a big, hungry, gnarly, mean bass, he skitters the heck out of there. Man, I mean, he can haul. You know, if you fish enough, you've seen them, where they'll just haul ass away from the bank. And when they do that, oftentimes, particularly shad, they will leave a little trail of scales, like a little comet tail. Now we used to put, back in the day, we used to put glitter on our lures to kind of simulate that action when we're pulling it through the water. We were thinking that it might sort of inspire a strike. You know, the bass is thinking that we're a bait trying to get away, and he's just going to make him want us all that more. I think there's some validity to that. So I like to always tie a little bit of this silver in, just to give it a little bit of that look. Now, I don't think that I'm not a scientist, and I'm not trying to argue or start an argument. I don't think that predators, bass included, alligators, most predators I've been around a lot of them in my life, and I'm not talking about the 2-foot kind, the 2-legged kind. They react. They're there to feed. They're reacting. They're not analyzing. They don't sit there like a deer and look at it and smell it and all that kind of stuff. They see it. Now they will follow it. We've all seen plenty of videos where they'll follow it and they'll look at it for a minute, and then they'll decide whether it's something that they think that they want to eat, and they'll either go for it or they won't, or they'll grab it and they'll spit it out, whatever that action is. I'm trying to give them a reason to react to it quickly. And so I'm going to have some flash in there. I'm going to have whatever I can put in there that makes it look sort of natural. But there's a lot of different things that create that strike. There's a lot of different reasons that fish decides he wants to strike a